Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your now 3 times a week dose of the finest 2A propaganda, brought to you by Discount Cash Patel because Andrew had to take a little bit of time off. In our first story, House Democrats submitted a bill on Tuesday, November 4th, to attempt to reinstate the more than a dozen gun-free zones invalidated by the First Circuit Appellate Court decision, McDaniels v. State of Florida, where it was found that your Second Amendment right does apply everywhere in the state of Florida, except for schools, government buildings, and courthouses. This is being labeled as little more than an appeal to the gun-grabbing base of those politicrators, but it nonetheless reemphasizes the need for political vigilance regardless of who's in office when it comes to making sure that the law of the land actually reflects what the people demand. As we always do here on this channel, I encourage you to make your voice heard by your local political representation and support organizations like Gun Owners of America and the Second Amendment Foundation, who act as the lawsuit strongarm, keeping inalienable rights actually inalienable. But hey, it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors. So let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by EOTech.
The Voodoo 3 to 9 by 32 scope. This second focal plane scope is only 6.8 inches long and is fog, water, and shock resistant. Compact, lightweight, and ideal for short to mid-range shooting. To minimize the overall length, a machine interface will adapt to the included EOTech mount or any aftermarket mini ACOG mounts. The Voodoo 3 to 9 by 32 scope is loaded with innovation, precision, and functionality to make that critical shot.
And by Vortex. Vortex just released a new closed emitter version of the Venom Micro Red Dot. The new enclosed Venom features large, top-mounted buttons, an auto shutoff feature after 10 minutes to save battery life, and sports a convenient side-mounted battery tray. Find out more in the doobly-doo. Not to put too fine a point on the gun control matter, and to maybe put this into perspective for folks that see gun laws as an out-of-sight, out-of-mind issue, Maine voters upgraded their current yellow flag laws, which empowered police to use a mental health diagnosis, not crimes, to restrict people's access to firearms all the way up to confiscation without due process, to red flag laws, placing the same authority into everybody's hands. What does this mean? Since 2020, yellow flag laws have been used 689 times by dozens of different law enforcement agencies to confiscate guns from people suffering from some sort of mental health issue. Now, I'll admit that we do need to get help to people when we can, and we as communities should be doing everything possible to provide help to those in crisis. Here's a quick link to some resources. But firearms are primarily means of protecting oneself and represent agency and bodily autonomy regardless of what the gun grabbers would lead you to believe. Maine has now given the legal authority for witch hunts fueled by editorialized coverage of tragedies to pit fearful people against their neighbors that happen to own guns and maybe not agree with them on political or ideological views. They won't admit it, but this is a step towards tyranny and actual fascism, which due to not enough pro-2A pushback, the residents of Maine will now be subject to for the foreseeable future. This last story hits a bit closer to home for ARFCOM. The recent election of Zohran Mamdani has writer Lee Williams from the Second Amendment Foundation claiming that the mayor-elect is poised to be the new face of national anti-gun rhetoric. New York was the home for the founders of our forum, and they were about to open up a physical store until the SAFE Act passed in 2013, practically making any firearms-related business impossible within the state. Mamdani ran as a Democratic Socialist, which tends to put him on the side of gun control, at least from a party affiliation standpoint. We don't have to guess about his feelings on the matter because he openly supported federal gun control measures with statements like,
"We are reminded that no matter how strong our gun laws are in this state, we are only as safe as the weakest laws in this nation." And I echo the call from Governor Hochul for a nationwide ban on assault rifles.
Where we, the gun community, have blunted the spear of the likes of Gavin Newsom, who used to be the mouthpiece of such pro-tyranny rhetoric, it seems that Zohran the moron is showing his hand in peddling fear to both have New Yorkers and the rest of us free, peaceable people give up our rights like Commonwealth peasants. Obviously, our hope is to combat that every step of the way, and you can help us with a like or a comment below of "Shall Not Be Infringed."
Gundustry News.
Although new gun releases have slowed down since we are T-minus a few weeks away from SHOT Show, I did come across an incredibly cool, albeit impractical, experimental Thompson not-so-submachine gun chambered in .30-06. Apparently it's going up for auction this December at the prestigious Rock Island Auction House and could go for upwards of $130K. Now, I don't have that kind of cheddar, but I can appreciate a piece of history when I see it. Most people don't realize how the iterative process works behind the scenes and truly how much engineering time goes into developing the products we use every day. We stand on the shoulders of giants these days, and if you want to complain that you don't see enough innovation in today's gun industry, you need to support the companies that are actually trying out new things and pushing against the status quo. I'm sorry if you skipped ahead for the moment of zen. It's okay. Andrew still loves you, and I do have to do that thing gun tubers do and remind you that the tube of yous actively hates you and your rights. Please subscribe to this channel if you're not already. We are getting a lot of people getting unsubscribed to this, and if you want to support content like this, a simple like or comment below can push this in the algorithm and show more people this type of content. Do you like pews and pew-related things? Do you want to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew-propaganda at the low, low price of free video? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.